Hello, my name is Frontier Myers, and today's episode is just going to be me, pretty much venting. So, I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that I went through this year. From the start of this year, I went into the forest, and I remember talking about this in one of the episodes, but I got lost, and I remember feeling so lost. I was confused on where I was going. At first, I was having fun because I was being independent. I felt independent. I was conquering the goals that I wanted to begin with, and I was transforming into someone who I wanted to embody, which was independence and strength, and there were so many things I wanted to embody. And then when I got lost into the woods and soon got sent into the hospital, things just took a turn for me. And it's like, when I went into the hospital, I didn't know it was for me. I thought I was here to help others. And previously, I was going through a season of not necessarily depression, but I was crying a lot. And my parents and my mother, she was worried about me. And, I just wanted to help others so much, and I felt like before I had so much faith, and I was doing so many things for the Lord. I was preaching to my teachers. I was talking about how much I was going through individually, and I broke down in school. And so things like this made me realize that I had so much faith within me. But as soon as I got into the hospital, I felt like all those things were taken away from me. I wasn't able to study the Word. I wasn't able to read the Bible. And I felt like I was separated from God, and like my faith had been torn apart. And that's how I still feel now. It's just that every day now, after I got out, it's not necessarily been the same, but that's how it feels like. And that's where I'm going through this season. And I made my own podcast. This is my own podcast. And it's just that I thought that I would have the same faith that I had when I got out to now. And after I got out the hospital, I was grateful, get out that Sunday. And thank God I did. But things haven't really progressed in a way that I expected it to. I'm in a lady leadership club at my school, and it's encouraging us to take up leadership qualities. And so we talk about all these different things like drugs and how we shouldn't take them and what's in the drugs. And so they're just building up the momentum in us first, and then we will fulfill those leadership qualities sooner or later. Who knows? But for me, the Lord has been calling me to be a leader, especially with having my own community, because I never had my own community. At school, I have zero to no friends. So it's hard being at school and being on my own a lot, because I like being alone, but I don't like being alone. And I know that I'm not alone because the Lord is always there with us. But that doesn't mean that I shouldn't be with other people. And I have a group of friends. Frenasia, I call her V, and she's a really sweet girl, and I'm glad that I finally decided to talk to her this year. But this is the year I'll graduate, and I'm just waiting on a real community of friends. Now, I know I have community friends online, but those friends that you have in person, I thought I had a real friend, but things turned out badly, and I had to stop being friends with her. I realized that I was giving so much to her, and she never really saw me as her best friend. She had a lot of best friends, and I guess I was a part of her close friends because I saw her cry. We had that emotional connection, but she really didn't really see me as who I was. And every time I was with her, it felt like things were always changing. And so I just had to let her go. And because I let her go, she was the only friend I had that was a senior. And so majority of the seniors that I know, I don't really talk to. I'm acquaintances with some. Like, I know all of the seniors, but I'm not really that close with them. I was previously, but we were more like acquaintances still. And so it just still sucks, that I don't have people I can go to physically, or people I can read the Bible with or talk to about my problems with. And so once I go to college, I'm really hoping that community follows me when I go there. So I'm praying, I'm gonna keep them in my prayers and hope that we reach that goal. I've been struggling with physical beauty. I want to see my heart instead of my physical. But that's the first thing people see. I've been lacking on my fashion sense. I love dressing up and I love doing my makeup, but those were things that I used to like, and I'm trying to figure out things that I want to like now, and it's just hard because it feels like each part of me that I used to have is not the person I want to become now. There are good and bad qualities that I had, and I'm trying to pick each one to create a good person out of me. But it feels like I'm doing it all alone, and at the same time I should know that I don't do it alone. I don't do this by myself because God's doing it. But I think I just need to trust Him more. Struggling with trust a lot and feeling like there aren't people out there for me, especially with my community online. It's hard building something from the bottom, but I have big plans. I have big goals in the future. I plan to make my own magazine, and all of these things are Christian faith, and so it's something that I'm holding on to. It's a weight on my back. But I know that I'm not the one carrying it, God is. Because it's not about me at the end of the day, it's about God. And I think that's what I struggle with most. The entertainment wise, because God's not a performer. And it feels like that's what I'm doing, performing. At the same time, I love what I do. I love talking about what I learned. I don't like the editing part. That's the most I don't like. But I feel like I just haven't been learning anything lately. And I don't know if that's because I'm still healing or if I'm still just going through the motion. I'm not sure. But I know that I still do study the word. And that's the thing, I keep going, even in the midst of what I'm going through. Because what if this is just a test? Or I don't know. I just want God to hear me, and I want others to hear me too. I want the reception, well, not the reception, but hear the words of God, because it's important. And I felt like that I was consuming a lot of things, a lot of videos, and I wanted to put my voice out there too, because I learned so much from them. So I know others can learn from me because I have so much wisdom. So it's hard putting things out there and people not liking it, or people liking it anyways. So I'm struggling with those sorts of things, but at the same time, I take my hands off of it. I don't like to focus on it a lot, because it's not about the likes, it's not about the subscriptions. And sometimes that's what my mind focuses on. And so when I do videos, that's what I'm thinking, okay, or will people be engaged in what I do? So I just want you guys to be more engaged. I think that's really what I want. Because I like to see that people are engaged in what I do. And speaking of that, I want to say that I made my own Reddit, and made my own community on Reddit. And so I will be putting that in the description. So thank you for everything that you guys have done for me. I appreciate all of the subscriptions I've got, the likes and the comments. And yeah, so I think I got it all out. Thank you for listening to me rant. I love you, and so do I.